Welcome back to the Per Report. Any space in busy urban areas is bound to be filled if there's no rule against it. And even where there are laws, the deterrent effect might not be much.
When the government closed off Sai Ying Choi Street to vehicles for a part of every day in 2000, it was a response to heavy pedestrian use. Since then, the street has become a home to performers, political groups, and people touting business.
I don't think they have that vision of respecting this as like a public realm for all sorts of activities. I think it's really like a functional solution to a problem, which is like congestion.
Earlier this year, the pedestrian precinct was scaled back from 7 to just 2 days per week, plus holidays. Earlier, the hours had been cut back. Vehicles return by 10 p.m. instead of midnight. That's because the local district council received complaints from neighbors and shopkeepers about noise and business disruption. Business, though, uses the street. SmartTone has a shop, and it also sets up a stand in the middle of the street nearby. Electronics giant Sony has a team of dancers in the street promoting its products. A singer and his guitar compete with a commercial sales pitch. And everywhere, there are roll-up panels known as easy mount frames and promoters, especially of telecom and internet products.
The rolling up panels, they promote their business, this commercially.
Chris Ip is a Yau Chim Mong district councillor.
Perhaps it's in a gray area. I can't say exactly if they are legal or illegal, but in my opinion, they are doing some business illegally.
The offense is street obstruction. In 2013, 65 fixed penalty notices were issued, carrying a $1,500 fine. More than 3,000 easy mount frames were seized. FEHD told us someone standing with the frame only has to move it to avoid prosecution for street obstruction. Home Affairs Bureau oversees street management issues and told us there is no law against using the street to promote a commercial interest.
We receive a lot of complaints about the roll-up banner or some business on street. It's difficult to solve the problem. So I encourage the legal member or the department to change the law, solve it as soon as possible.
It's like people are dying for public realm spaces. So for this kind of scheme, I think the law, whatever, the administrative measure, should be written in such a way that the commercial interests should all be out.
Mary, an activist, has long been on the lookout for any person or business taking up public space in her Chim Sat Choi neighborhood near Granville Road. Here, she's asking the shop owner to take down an easy mount frame blocking the pavement.
His take on it is that we can walk in the street.
Through her own efforts, Mary has learned many of the rules for what is and what is not tolerated on the pavement and the streets. On Nathan Road, she saw the pavement widened a few years ago between Cameron and Granville Roads to increase room for pedestrians.
I noticed that at the same time, the new shops coming into this building were also extending their shop frontages out onto the public pavement, and thereby completely negating the positive effect achieved through the pavement widening.
She complained to the buildings department, and a couple of the shops were ordered to pull back, and they did.
However, Body Shop continues, which was the shop sticking out the most on the public pavement, continues to occupy the public pavement more than 3 years after the initial complaint was made.
Government told her in a July 2012 email that it had noticed the extension in 2007 and said it was not new then, and because it is
not considered as posing obvious or imminent danger to life and property, it does not belong to the group with the highest enforcement priority.
Last October, another email response to Mary's follow-up inquiry.
Buildings Department issued a statutory removal order on October 22, 2013 against the unauthorized shopfront extension of the Body Shop.
Last week, we saw scaffolding going up at the location. And a few days later, the extension was being removed. There is considerable value in creating a fixed extension to your premises.
The value of that shop in the front, I think, is more or less about 100,000 per square foot.
That makes the extension worth about $2.3 million.
Oh, good afternoon. I want to report extensive double parking on Granville Road.
There's one-way traffic on the last block of Granville Road leading out to Nathan Road.
The vehicles are waiting to go into the one, but they're not allowed to park on the street. This is completely holding up the traffic. And Chim Sa Choi residents are subject to intolerable levels of noise pollution because of this. We don't have cars, but we have the noise pollution.
Inside 10 minutes, police are responding to the phone call. There are vehicles at a stop on both sides of the road. Mary especially wants the cars waiting to get into the car park to be cleared.
This illegal parking is just as illegal as parking here.
I know that, but their car not parking at night.
No, they're parked. They're there like 4, 5, 10 minutes, who knows how long. They normally start by clearing that side of the street. Then they may or may not tackle this side. I find some officers are more hard-nosed than others. Some are more zero tolerance. Like today, the original response was that the cars were queuing.
For the cost of a parking ticket, Mary says FedEx appropriates a parking spot for several hours every day on Carnarvon Road in Chim Sa Choi.
Here we have FedEx running an office on our street 5 days a week, Monday to Friday, between noon and 7 p.m. for $320 a day. You know, the bargain of the year.
We've been past midweek on a couple of occasions and seen the vehicle there both times.
I call it in practically every day if I'm around at the right time. The 2 staff on board, they visit the local offices picking up the parcels for delivery, and then they bring them to the van, so they come backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards.
Vehicles are not supposed to stay here.
The restriction is that you can only use this parking area for drop-off and pick-up, and the driver must always remain on board the vehicle.
Mary began complaining about this vehicle more than a year ago, and a few months back, Transport Department took away the meter.
Once you've paid the meter, you can legitimately stay there. Now, by changing from a parking meter to a box area, it means that you cannot linger on the area.
Without getting a ticket, Mary would like to see the vehicle towed away.
But the local police do not have the power to tow away a vehicle unless it's causing obstruction to traffic. Only the transport police have this power to bring in a tow truck and tow it away.
She's now trying to convince her local district councillor to put pressure on the transport police to begin towing.
Well, thank you for watching our show. It will be re-aired on Tuesday and Saturday, as well as on tvb.com. Until next time, from the Pearl Report team, good night, good luck, and good health.